Many folks don't know the story of Premier. Premier Heating and Air was founded in 2001 with just a small group of people. Initially, Premier's handful of people went to work with a core value and set of principles based on a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. With one move in 2005 and then a leap of faith in 2010, Premier is now in its current location and now one of the largest heating and air companies in Middle Georgia. Still, every day our people walk through our warehouse doors and into the doors of your home with the same core value. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. Call Premier Heating and Air today and get your AC system checkup for just $49. Need a new system? Get up to $2,000 on qualified systems. Log on to dublin.premierishere.com. The choice is clear. Choose Premier. Premier Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company.
Okay, I have with me now Gerad Mathis, a newcomer.
Yes,
sir. You won tonight. It was close,
yes, sir,
all along
very
the way,
close.
And right there at the end, you come out ahead.
Yes,
That's
sir.
really all that matters, isn't it?
Man, I tell you what, we've been outside waving at folks all day long. I went home and took a shower, obviously, before we come down here, but we have boots on the ground. I tell you what, we won this election by knocking on doors, talking to people, finding out what the issues were, and I'm looking forward to getting ready to serve in 2025. I know we'll take office in January, and I look forward to working with all the commissioners. I know we still got one race that's undecided, but I'm just excited. I want to really thank all my supporters, my family, and also TV 35. I felt like y'all helped me a lot with the commercials and advertising. And man, I'm just pumped and ready to go.
Well,
let's get something done.
You mix it all up, and
yes, sir.
You attacked on every front.
Yes, sir.
But tell me, you talked to a lot of voters. What is a couple of the biggest issues? What do voters want done?
Well, voters are always, public safety comes up. It's a top priority. Voters want to make sure we got enough ambulances. The sheriff's department's got what it needs. The fire department's got what it needs, and that come up time and time again. I tell you another thing, the voters are worried about the crime in Lawrence County.
Yes.
And we need to do whatever the commissioners, however we can get together to help the DA's office, to help the judges, to help the sheriff's department. We got to do something to get this crime under control. We want people to feel safe in the streets. I want to know that I can walk through downtown with my family at nighttime. And I'm not sure exactly yet how we're going to get there, but we're going to work on it, which is something that I don't think was happening before. So,
well, our new DA, I just interviewed him, and he says he don't need more money. But he says, and he said it during the debate, you was in the room, he said, I'm going to be the first one there in the morning, I'm going to be the last one to leave. And he's going to attack this with these judges. He said, it's not about money. He said, we don't need more money. We just need to concentrate on, like me and you when we grew up, there was consequences.
Yes, sir.
I tell people, I feared God and I feared my daddy, and I think I feared Daddy more because he was there. He was within swinging distance. So we must have consequences. But I think as commissioners, you have to support our sheriff and our DA.
Absolutely. Well, I'm our sheriff, our DA, our judges, and congratulations to everybody that won tonight. And I look forward to working with them in 2025.
Okay,
so.
You got 6 months before you take off. That's always the hardest part to me.
Yes, I wish we could do it next week,
I know, but in them 6 months, what are you going to be doing in preparation?
Well, I'm going to be watching the commissioner meetings real closely, probably attending most of those that I can, and probably attend most all of them, really. But just making sure I'm current with issues that's going on and make sure we got a plan in place so when I take office that we'll be able to have a smooth transition to work with the commissioners in play. I don't want to go in not knowing what's going on. Right. So we'll be here and active. And I talked with Jeff. I think Jeff will be including me in what's going on between here and the end of the year as well.
He will. All our races, we had 5 local races. We had some top caliber people running. To me, that makes me feel good about my community to know that the caliber people that ran are willing to step up, win, lose, or draw tonight. Everybody contributed to making our community a better place.
That's right, absolutely.
And the last thing, airport. You talked a lot about the airport.
Yep.
And I want you to tell our viewers just how important our bugbear in airport?
Yeah, I tell you, the airport falls under the radar, and maybe I'd like to have some public events out at the airport to get the community out there and see it. We got a couple of guys out there in one company, Hilo Max, is doing flight training. I think that's a hidden gem in Lawrence County that we need to bring out in the open a little more than what it is now. We got to keep the grass up better out there. That sort of fell by the wayside a little bit, but I want to work on keeping the facilities up, the grass up, and make it the top place that it could be to make Lawrence County a shining example. As you and I talked in some of the interviews, when these big corporations come in, these guys aren't riding in here in vans and driving down from Atlanta. They're flying in here in private jets. Yeah. And the first thing they see is the airport and the way it looks and the way it's kept. And that sets the tone. That's the first impression. If you pull up to a terrible building right off the bat, it changes everything. And we got a good airport, but I want to make it better and make sure we keep it up appropriately.
I'm surprised, and I go to the airport quite often, but when you and I were out there for just a small window of time, 45 minutes I'll say, the planes that come in and out of there, I saw, I don't know, World War II plane coming through going to Florida.
That's right.
Corporate jets in and out.
That's right. It was a little busier that day. That particular week, Sun and Fun was going on down in Lakeland, and Dublin's a perfect fuel stop. So a lot of that World War II plane I found out stopped in to actually pick up somebody. They didn't even get fuel. Okay. They picked up somebody and went on. He actually dropped him back off Sunday on the way back through. I saw him. Yeah,
but it didn't have time to
That's right. Yeah, he got in and out quick. But there's a lot of traffic at the airport. People don't realize, and then the Aviation College in Eastman is very close by. At one time, they had relocated some of their planes to Dublin and left them for several months and done a lot of training out of Dublin, but they utilize our airport a lot, and that may be somewhere that we can talk about some expansion and maybe getting them a little satellite deal going. But the more traffic you have, the more fuel you sell, the more money it brings into the county and the airport. And I can tell you right now, the airport fuel sales are up because we got air evac out there. We've got a couple of King Airs in Dublin now that actually I'm flying 2 of, and then we got another gentleman's flying 1. So we're sucking up some fuel, and that's just the start of it. It's going to grow from here.
And I don't want to close out. I want you to talk about a man that's been so important at our airport, Mr. Fred Houston.
Mr. Fred, I call him Fred Houston, but Fred Houston.
Well, Houston, Texas, Houston County.
I tell you what, Mr. Fred's a great guy, and, you know, a couple of years back, the commissioners voted to name the terminal building the Fred Houston Terminal Building, and then something fell to the wayside. It was voted on and approved, but the building has never actually been named. The sign hasn't been changed. That's one thing I want to work on in 2025. I know it was a prior deal, but I want to see it through and make sure we make that happen. We would not have the facility that we have today if it were not for Fred Houston. If anybody out there knows Mr. Fred, telling things, he's still an aviation pioneer and one of the only pilots in Dublin, Lawrence County that's received a Wright Brothers Flying Award. That's a prestigious, prestigious award. You got to be 50 years accident-free and no blemishes on your record, no FAA violations or investigations, and he's one of the few people in Dublin and Lawrence County that's got that and still flying today. I flew with him just last week. We flew a King Air 350 together to Panama City just last week. And
I would trust him. No
absolutely.
Doubt.
He's in his 80s and he still got it.
Oh, he's got it. There's no doubt about it. So congratulations.
Hey, yes, sir. Thank you.
The weather's heating up here in Middle Georgia, and the deals are hot at Dublin Nissan. So when you come in, look for the red tag specials like this Nissan Altima or the new restyled 2024 Frontier. So come into Dublin Nissan during our red tag sale and take advantage of 0% financing or up to $10,000 savings off of MSRP.
At Dublin Nissan, get rates as low as 0% for 36 months on the Pathfinder.
And remember, Don sells Nissans well, only at Dublin Nissan.